The Rat Temple. There is a place in India called Kaudamata where rats are seen as holy creatures. In Kaudamata, holy rats are called kabas and many people travel great distances to pay their respects. Legend has it that Laxman, son of Karni Mata, drowned in a pond in Kapil Sarovar while he was attempting to drink from it. Karni Mata implored Yama, the god of death, to revive him. First refusing, Yama eventually relented, permitting Laxman and all of Karni Mata's male children to be reincarnated as rats. Eating food that has been nibbled on by the rats is considered to be a high honor. If one of them is killed, it must be replaced with another one made of solid silver. Mahatma Gandhi's real name. Mahatma is a nickname for Gandhi. His real name is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, October 2, 1869 – 30 January 1948, is an Indian lawyer, politician, social activist, and writer who became the leader of the nationalist movement against the British rule of India. As such, he came to be considered the father of his country. Gandhi is internationally esteemed for his doctrine of non-violent protest, satyagraha, to achieve political and social progress. Mohandas was from the social caste of tradesmen. His mother was illiterate, but her common sense and religious devotion had a lasting impact on Gandhi's character. As a youngster, Mohandas was a good student, but the shy young boy displayed no signs of leadership. On the death of his father, Mohandas traveled to England to gain a degree in law. He became involved with the Vegetarian Society. On completing his degree in law, Gandhi returned to India, where he was soon sent to South Africa to practice law. In South Africa, Gandhi was struck by the level of racial discrimination and injustice often experienced by Indians. It was in South Africa that Gandhi first experimented with campaigns of civil disobedience and protest. He called his non-violent protests satyagraha. After 21 years in South Africa, Gandhi returned to India in 1915. He became the leader of the Indian nationalist movement campaigning for home rule or Swaraj. Gandhi frequently called off strikes and non-violent protest if he heard people were rioting or violence was involved. After violence in Salt March, Gandhi called off the independence movement saying that India was not ready. After those years, Britain indicated that they would give India independence. He worked vigorously to show that Muslims and Hindus could live together peacefully. It could not, and partition of India occurred. At the age of 78, Gandhi undertook another fast to try and prevent the sectarian killing. After 5 days, the leaders agreed to stop killing. But 10 days later Gandhi was shot dead by a Hindu Brahmin opposed to Gandhi's support for Muslims and the caste system. The honorific Mahatma, Sanskrit, great-souled, venerable, first applied to him in 1914 in South Africa, is now used throughout the world. World's first hospital train. The world's first hospital train, Lifeline Express, is in service in Mumbai since July 16, 1991. In 1991, Mumbai-based non-governmental organization Impact India Foundation started the service with the idea of taking hospital services and medical aid to the people, especially those living in far-flung areas of rural India, who remain untouched or poorly serviced by healthcare facilities. Lifeline Express has treated about 1.2 million people since its launch in 1991 by the non-profit Impact India Foundation. While the hospital train started off providing treatment primarily for cataract, cleft lips and polio, over time, it began providing plastic surgeries, dental surgeries, epilepsy services, burn contractures, cancer treatment and curative services to people suffering from various kinds of disabilities. History of shampoo. The word shampoo entered the English language from India. It dates to 1762 and is derived from Hindi champo, itself derived from the Sanskrit root chapati or chapayati, which means to press, knead. In the Indian subcontinent, a variety of herbs and their extracts have been used as shampoos since ancient times. They used to different saps for various shampoo types. Cleansing with hair and body massage during one's daily bath was a vulgarity of early colonial traders in India. When they returned to Europe, they introduced the newly learned habits in the 1760s, including the hair treatment and chapayati change to the shampoo in Europa. Sheikh Deen Muhammad, an Indian traveler, surgeon, and entrepreneur, is credited with introducing the practice of shampooing or shampooing to Britain. In 1814, Muhammad, with his Irish wife Jane Daly, opened the first commercial shampooing vapor masseur bath in England, in Brighton. He described the treatment in a local paper as the Indian medicated vapor bath, a type of Turkish bath, a cure to many diseases and giving full relief when everything fails, particularly rheumatic and paralytic, gout, stiff joints, old sprains, lame legs, aches and pains in the joints. Kailasa Temple. One of the India's greatest monuments, astonishing Kailasa Temple, carved from solid rock. Kailasa Temple derives its name from Mount Kailasa, the Himalayan abode of the Hindu god Shiva. It is generally believed that this temple was constructed in the 8th century AD, during the reign of Krishna I, a ruler of the Rashtrakuta Empire. As the Kailasa Temple is supposed to represent the sacred mountain of Shiva, this temple was dedicated to this particular Hindu god. A total of 200,000, other estimations range from 150,000 to 400,000, tons of rock were excavated out of a vertical basalt cliff in the Karanandri Hills to form the magnificent temple. The Kailasa Temple has been dubbed as Cave 16 of the Ellora Caves and is notable for being the largest monolithic structure in the world that was carved out of a single piece of rock. Apart from the temple's impressive size, it is also remarkable for its sculptures, as well as for the fine workmanship of its other architectural elements. Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore wrote national anthems for Bangladesh and India. He was also offered knighthood by the British. Rabindranath Tagore, poet, short story writer, song composer, playwright, essayist, and painter who introduced new prose and verse forms and the use of colloquial language into Bengali literature, thereby freeing it from traditional models based on classical Sanskrit. He was highly influential in introducing Indian culture to the West and vice versa, and he is generally regarded as the outstanding creative artist of early 20th century India. In 1913 he became the first non-European to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature. He wrote Amar Sonar Bangla, the national anthem for Bangladesh in 1905 and Jana Gana Mana, the national anthem for India in 1911. Jana Gana Mana was first publicly sung on December 27, 1911 at the Indian National Congress, and the lyrics of Amar Sonar Bangla first appeared to raise public consciousness against the political divide of Bengal in the September in 1905. Tagore was awarded a knighthood in 1915, but he repudiated it in 1919 as a protest against the Amritsar, Jallianwala Bagh, massacre. Mauryas woman guards. Chandragupta Maurya was guarded inside the palace by women bodyguards in BC 310s. Chandragupta Maurya was a great conqueror and an able empire builder. Also, he was one of the strongest administrators the history of India saw. The earlier kings before the Maurya era ruled over small kingdoms. Chandragupta ruled over a vast empire. The empire contained many types of people with different social customs and usages. Historian Gnvs says, the care of the royal person is entrusted to women when he goes out to hunt. It is a kind of Bacchic procession, surrounded by women who form a circle. Some of the women are in chariots, some on horseback, some on elephants, fully armed as in war. The University of Takshashila. The University of ancient Takshashila in northern India was considered to be one of the earliest, or the earliest, universities in the world. According to available ancient references, Takshashila was an early Buddhist center of learning. Scholars date back this ancient university to the 5th or the 6th century BC. At ancient Takshashila University, with more than 10,500 students, 2 out of 3 applicants rejected came from within India and outside, Babylonia, now Iraq, Greece, Egypt, Syria, Asia Minor, now Turkey, Arabia, and China, to be taught by nearly 2,000 master teachers. The university became a prominent center of learning at least several centuries before Christ and maintained its reputation until the destruction of the city in the 5th century AD. ID for cows. Every cow must have a photo ID in West Bengal in India due to issues with smuggling the species. Cattle smuggling is the movement of cattle for slaughter and processing where cattle slaughter is illegal according to law of India, because cows are divine animals for Indians in general, where it is legal, as well as to neighboring countries such as Bangladesh, Pakistan. Cows had been smuggled in large numbers to Bangladesh and Pakistan, although Indian law. Because of this, in 2007, Indian border guards began photographing cows in villages in West Bengal, issuing them with identity cards to reportedly try and stop the smuggling of cow. Smuggling is decreasing since ID law.